You're here. I'm here. I'm so glad that you clicked. My name is Renee, and I am here to promote and advocate for your mind because we are so wonderfully made. Now, I understand I'm wonderfully made. I understand that it is a marvelous design. I did not understand that it was so well designed that it can navigate me through any unwanted circumstance, any unknown circumstance, any unexpected circumstance, that it could navigate me through any unpleasantness. Not even imperfection could stop it. That is how well designed it was made. What if to be anxious over nothing wasn't just mere words that I knew or that I could say? To be anxious over nothing was actual something literally that I could have now. You could have now. Wouldn't that be fantastic? Matter of fact, it would really help you to know how well we were designed and how well the designer was taking care of us. So, is that really a choice for us? Yes, 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 yes. There is just a huge gap in our basic education that blocks this from being a reality. But this basic education that is in our gap, it backs up the Bible's teachings that we can be in charge of our own thoughts, behaviors, and feelings. The science of it is called neuroplasticity. Have you heard of neuroplasticity? You may have. Have you heard how to use it? What is neuroplasticity? I'm going to read it to you. It is the fancy medical term used to describe your brain's ability to learn and adapt. Think of it as an internal rewiring process that allows your brain to adapt when you gain knowledge, skills, encounter something new, experience something profound, such as emotions that are like awe or grief. In the Bible, it's actually called dominant mental attitude, new personality, renewing the mind, and your thinking abilities. So lower vibes are like indicators. Okay, so in your car, you have a little indicator that'll tell you when your gas tank is low. It's an indicator. Is it meant to cause panic? Is it meant to cause stress? No, it's just an indicator. Okay, telling the brain it has to pay attention and take some type of action. It might be a big action, a small action, a little action. They're just indicators. Okay, when we listen to those indicators, when we listen to them, they keep all in balance. When we tolerate them and we ignore them or we don't know what to do with them, they become like blaring alarms. And that's the state in which most people will deal with emotions. Unfortunately, in this particular stage, most people, when they're dealing with it, it seems huge and overwhelming, which it would, right? Because it's this blaring sound. Isn't that what happens when the smoke alarm? Everybody's alert, running around. What do we do? Do you smell something? Where is it? Where does it come from? Okay. It turns into a big deal. So instead of our emotions helping us to stay balanced and in homeostasis, they cause a lot of emotional distress. Instead of building mental resilience, that's what neuroplasticity is. What was that? Let me read it to you again. It is the fancy medical term used to describe your brain's ability to learn and adapt. It's an internal rewiring process that allows your brain to adapt when you gain knowledge, skills, encounter something new, or experience profound emotions like awe or even grief. So when we were experiencing those, They should have been building mental resilience. But were they? Likely not. See, when we were dealing with those emotions at first, when we were younger, they were mostly placated. They were not addressed. So, placated does not build mental resilience. Okay? So that we can be able to navigate any unpleasantness that occurs. So, for instance, here's an indicator, a sense of loss. Okay? That can be a sense of loss as maybe death of a loved one. It might be a loss of a job. It might even be seen as emptiness. When the kids move out and now there's this loss, sense of loss, there's this missing gap. Okay? That can turn into grief if it is not addressed. So sense of loss, when addressed, will not turn into grief. Disappointment can turn into discouragement, and that makes you stop, makes you quit. So when you have a disappointment, when it's addressed, it doesn't turn into discouragement. Annoyances, they turn into anger. So when you're annoyed, instead of tolerating, ignoring, you address it, it doesn't turn into anger. Taking offense. Yep. Taking offense. It turns into what? Hurt feelings. Unfairness turns into what? Resentment. Insecurity turns into what? Jealousy. Hate turns into fear. And not being in control turns into helplessness. Now you're like, no, it isn't. It's that already. That's because it was never addressed originally. And so now a sense of loss automatically triggers grief. Taking offense automatically triggers hurt feelings because they were not taught how to address when someone comes up to you and they're not being nice to you or they're saying mean things about you because you did not know how to address that. It turned into hurt feelings, and now that's just what you produce. That's what we all produced. Unless you know how to address them. So when it's already installed in us, feeling hurt, people are mean, feeling really, really, really sad, hurt feelings, that program is in there really good. And so sometimes people will use things like positive thinking or mindfulness, and they're trying to work that out so they're not reacting so much. And basically that is called a coping and managing skill. So there is a difference between coping and managing and prevention and resolution, which is what I am sharing now. So coping and managing means there's something that's going on, and you just have to cope and manage it because there's nothing you can do about it. You cope with it or manage it to maybe reduce it. So most people try to reduce their hurt feelings, reduce a little bit of their jealousy, but what happens? It's always coming back in full force as soon as the next situation comes along. So let's say from childhood, if the above indicators, such as sense of loss, unfairness, sadness, taking offense, insecurity, if all of those things were addressed right away, not placated, but actually addressed, how to handle them in a high vibe way, because you can handle them in a high vibe way. That addressing meant that it would have been acknowledged and accepted as to what had occurred, not accepted and as if it was right or wrong. It's just acknowledged, accepted. And whatever it is that caused that emotion, so that situation would have been looked at and they would have addressed the situation and the reaction. If that had been done, the brain will have been building mental resilience. The brain would have done its job, which is to adapt and get better at handling emotions. That's what it would have done. So if we fill the gap in our education on how to address situations and emotions and build mental resilience, we can actually sustain God's peace of mind to navigate through any circumstance, any unpleasantness, any situation. Because right now, your brain has a list of things that it says it can't handle, it can't do, that it has to start to create fear, helplessness, jealousy, depression, resentment, hurt feelings, anger, discouragement, grief. It's like it's on automatic pilot. It's on automatic pilot. And so you think it's the natural way to be. Or you think it's this way because of imperfection. But actually, it's that gap. You fill the gap and you start producing different results. So we're going to gain some enlightenment about our mind, our brain, neuroplasticity, and we're going to see how wonderfully made our brain was built to build mental resilience. And so when you read in the scriptures that talk about not having anxiety, not being anxious, what a calm heart can do for you, you'll understand why that is actually not just mere words. I knew the answer. I knew the scripture. But did I know how to use it? And did I know how to apply it? Advice was given for many, many years. But was it really being used as a prevention and resolution? Or was I just using them as coping and managing? Once I learned about neuroplasticity, I really understood how well the designer was taking care of me in this system of things. And that my navigation through this system of things could go way smoother than what it was. Because all of those emotions I was using was based on reacting off of circumstances in which I was not addressing. I didn't know how to address. I just thought. You have a sense of love, you have grief. Someone says something mean to you, you can get angry or you can have hurt feelings. I could take offense. And I'd go down that path of feeling hurt or unloved. Interesting, isn't it? So our brain was wonderfully designed, and the appreciation that I developed for knowing this information shifted and enhanced my ability to navigate life without being anxious. Okay? Without emotional distress. It's not without emotions. It's without emotional distress. And when you address with high vibe emotions, you'll actually see the benefit of how the brain was designed so that we can navigate through life without it being burdensome. It could literally be anything unexpected, unwanted, or unknown. Could be momentary and light. It could feel that way. It could feel momentary and light, and you could actually navigate it with patience and joy. And that is what I learned a few years ago. So it's my hobby to share it. I love to share it because I have another more important work. But I love this one because it really highlights our designer. And it really builds gratitude. And it really builds faith in the power of the designer and his wisdom in how he designed us. So I hope that you enjoy the next couple of weeks. So the way this starts out is we got 4 weeks. We're going to create some interesting enhancements. And it's going to allow you to say, I think I want to go more. Or, that already helped me with everything that I want to work on right now. And then you can just live your life based on the new enhancements that you put in. How fast it'll be for each individual is up to each individual, literally, because this is about the programs that are in your mind, not in my mind. It's your mind. Your mind has produced where you are right now, and it's a very good life. You're here serving God. Those programs got you here. The only thing you want to address now is how do you want to feel while you're serving God? Do you want to be anxious Or do you want to be not anxious? And that is up to each individual. What you decide to do with the information that I'm sharing with you. You can use it or not use it. It is not right or wrong to use this information. But to take in the information that I've been giving or the things I'm going to share is going to really be enlightening for you. And anytime that you want to use it, your brain is going to bring it back up to you. And you're going to know where to go when you decide to use it, even if you don't use it now. So no worries, it will always be up as long as the internet is up. Or if you have my number, you could use that. But this is Renee Thomas, and I actually developed this particular website and information and courses to help people, to share with them so that they can know the wonders of their mind and be impressed with the designer and how things are unfolding in life. I'm going to be posting a video, and that's the one you're going to use. Now, what is a video? The next video you're going to go into is actually we're going to be addressing the ones that I talked about. Grief, discouragement, anger, hurt feelings, resentment, depression, jealousy, fear, and helplessness. You're going to actually be addressing the emotion. And when you address the emotion, when you change your brain about how you want to use that emotion, okay, it will turn into the lesser indicators. So if you're dealing with grief, you can turn it into the sense of loss of knowing something happened, but your brain is going to help you to navigate it in a whole different way. You can have a different feeling inside. We've been taught to use low vibe emotions to things that happen to us. If we go to Philippians 4:8, it tells us after we've poured out our heart what we should focus on. And it is not low vibes, it's high vibes. So now you're going to learn how it is that you can navigate life in high vibe despite the unexpected, the unwanted, or the uncertain. Isn't that exciting? I think it's exciting. It's exciting. So anyway, I'm going to be giving you your first video. Now, the first video that you'll be doing is literally a follow-along video. That's what they all are. That means I will either be talking to you or there'll be like an animated, not like an AI, but animated as in like I put together different things, pictures and music and things like that to help you to address those emotions. And then you're going to level up in how you're feeling about them. And then see if those things seem to be as intense, as in it has to be feeling that way. Because that's all it is. When it comes down to it, it's just deciding when something happens, what do I want my reaction to be? Do I want it to be low vibe or I want it to be high vibe? High vibe helps you to navigate through things, helps you to make better decisions, better choices, helps you to assume the best. It helps you to keep that big picture in mind that we want to keep in mind. Lower vibe clouds it. Can't see it so clearly, can't see choices so clearly. And so that's the choice that we get to have. Low vibe makes it extremely difficult for us to navigate life when it is not addressed. It is meant to just be an indicator to let you know something happened and you pay attention and you address it. Once you address it, life will continue. Okay, it's like you're on the highway and you're driving down the highway and there's an exit. Something happened. You get off the exit. I don't know, you get gas. I don't know, eat. There's a reason why you have to exit. But do you stay there an extended period of time? Or do you just take care of what needs to be taken care of? And then you get back on your journey because you have a destination to get to. And if you want less exits, more gas in your tank to be able to go farther without stopping, then you learn to prevent and resolve. And that's what you're going to do today. You're going to start today. You have 7 days, 7 days to sit down and do the first video. And just do the video. Depending on the video, I'm not too sure which one I'm going to send or it's going to be listed, but they're usually between 10 and 30 minutes. So when you sit down, you know, you're going to put in a little bit of time, 30 minutes a week to help you deal with lifetime things that have been hanging over you. It's not too much of an investment for yourself. And you can put aside that time for you. Yes, you can. It's okay. Everyone will survive. Okay. Thanks, guys. And we'll see ya later on. Enjoy this video. Enjoy this course. You don't have to worry about actually taking notes. I'm going to be saying the same things over and over. By the time you're done with this course, it will be in your brain. So just invest the few minutes of the videos. That's all you got to do each week. That's it. And you'll start to see changes. You like the changes after 4 weeks, stay here. If not, discontinue the course. But if you like it, it's going to keep leveling up every time you go ahead and address something. Thank you.